Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back. So today we're talking about vetiver, which happens to be one of my most beloved ingredients in perfumery. Especially now that the summer is approaching, the days are getting hotter and hotter, and most of the globe will soon be surrounded by heat waves and humidity. I find that vetiver has a very refreshing aspect to it. It's very soothing and very relaxing. It's one of those ingredients that honestly I really like. Also because I have very fond memories about these specific notes, simply because my father used to wear a perfume called Vetiver by Guerlain, which happens to be the most famous vetiver based perfume in existence. Now he mostly wears Habit Rouge by the house of Guerlain, but I still have very strong memories attached to that particular perfume kind. So this is probably also the reason why my first vetiver based perfume is none other than Grey Vetiver by Tom Ford, which happens to share some similarities with Guerlain's Vetiver. I couldn't buy Guerlain's Vetiver because that simply reminded me too much of my father. So I just went for this one, which is an amazing, soothing, refreshing scent, perfect for the summertime. But before we delve into the actual perfumes that I will actually suggest you, I want you to know that vetiver is one of those ingredients that is actually so particular, so complex, that it cannot even be replicated in a laboratory as a synthetic. So you must know that there is no synthetic counterparts to the note of vetiver. Whenever you smell vetiver in a perfume, you can rest assured that it's 100% pure oil that composes that particular fragrance. So whenever you smell a perfume that is synthetic to your nose, rest assured that it's not the vetiver, it's the other notes surrounding the vetiver. For example, I hear a lot of people complaining that a perfume such as Encre Noire will smell a bit synthetic. Well, let me tell you, this perfume has one of the highest concentration of vetiver oil in existence in perfumery, which is around 14%. Now, to my knowledge, the only perfume that has more percentage of natural vetiver oil inside is Guerlain's Vetiver, which back in the 60s when it was created, it had almost 40% of natural vetiver oil in it. Now probably the amount drastically diminished simply because of all the reformulations, but it still packs a punch, it still smells amazing, and it's a great, perfect scent for a gentleman. It's an easy reach, a signature worthy scent for sure. It's something that is perfect for hotter days. Now, obviously, vetiver is not only grown in one country. There's mainly 4 different countries that grow and harvest vetiver. The first one would be India, which has been harvesting vetiver for thousands of years. Then you have Haiti, then you have Java, which is an island in Indonesia, and then of course the island of Réunion, which happens to create the highest quality vetiver of them all, also known as bourbon vetiver, but it is very rarely used in perfumery, so we're not really going to delve into that. We're going to focus on the Haitian vetiver and the Indian vetiver, which are both pretty much the most famous ones. And typically I noticed that the vetiver from Haiti is used in most designer scents, whereas the vetiver from India is used in niche scents. The reason is because the Haitian vetiver has a smoother odor, it's more citrusy, a bit lighter and more ethereal and easier to actually work, whereas the Indian vetiver will be slightly rootier and earthier. They both share, of course, the same traits, meaning that they are both smoky and slightly anisic, which is a very strong characteristic of the vetiver note, but both have slight differences. So as I said, niche perfumes will actually usually mix either Haitian vetiver with Indian or just go straight for the Indian, which has a bit more depth. For example, I will give you an example right now. A perfume that has 2 types of vetiver is Incident Diplomatique by the house of Jovoy. This one has both a vetiver from Haiti and a vetiver from the island of Java, which is very similar to the Indian vetiver, so very rich and deep and opulent. So this one is a must try for all of you vetiver lovers. It's very powerful, it lasts a long time, it will make a statement, and it is very well blended, as with most perfumes from the house of Jovoy. A great perfume brand, quite affordable considering that it's a niche brand. Very good stuff. Now, my go-to perfume whenever we talk about vetiver, other than grey vetiver, would be Terre d'Hermes. Of course, this one needs no introduction, guys. This is a fantastic, rich, deep vetiver mixed with a beautiful, zesty orange. Perfect for a signature scent. Really amazing stuff. It's not too complicated, but honestly, it's not even that monodimensional. It's very well mixed with other notes, very woody. It's kind of a statement maker. Whenever you wear this, you're just elegant. It's a fantastic scent, guys. Now, even better than this, if you actually asked me what the ultimate vetiver perfume is, I would answer simply Sycomore by the house of Chanel. Now, Sycomore is a perfume that was actually created in the 1930s, I believe, by Coco Chanel, and it's one of the perfumes from the private line. So it's gonna be, yes, as I said, a bit more expensive, but it is totally worth it. This, to me, is the epitome of a vetiver based perfume because it has depth, it has a lot of good quality ingredients. It is very wearable, and if you're into woody scents, this is pretty much the ultimate one. It doesn't get much better than Sycomore. This one that I have right now is the Eau de Toilette, which is not available anymore right now. All the perfumes from Chanel's private line are Eau de Parfum, and I find that they actually perform a lot better, even though I read about people that actually complain that the Eau de Toilette would project more than the Eau de Parfum and overall had better performances. Guys, please do not listen to these naysayers and negative people, because obviously an Eau de Toilette will have lower quantity of oils in the formula, therefore the molecules will be lighter and evaporate a lot faster, hence the reason why it has a greater sillage, but they will last no more than 4 to 5 hours if you're lucky. And I found that the new formulation, the Eau de Parfum of Sycomore, lasts at least 8 to 9 hours on my skin. This one doesn't last more than 4 to 5 hours. So even though the scent bubble will probably not be as great as the Eau de Toilette, it is totally worth it. Also because as a man, I don't really like it when my perfume is too loud, you know, it's just not elegant. So Sycomore, guys, if you want a woody, slightly tobacco-ish, vetiver-based perfume that has depth, that has that typical Indian, deep, rich vetiver, then give it a try. It's an amazing scent, a fantastic scent. Now, guys, I'm gonna differ a little bit and give you a few more examples of vetiver-based perfumes that have pretty much nothing to do with the ones I mentioned so far. This one is Byredo Balle d'Afrique. Now, the house of Byredo, it has its ups and downs. Some perfumes are really nice, some are terrible, but I must admit that Balle d'Afrique is one of the best ones from the line, even though it does not perform as good as it should, given the very high price tag. But if you are a young kid and you think that most vetiver-based perfumes smell like a 30-year-old guy or something that an older man should actually wear, then give this one a try, because it has a slightly playful DNA. It is a vetiver-based perfume that is mixed very well with some floral notes and some light, citrusy and woody tones. It's a fantastic blend, guys. Very high quality stuff, even good for a lady. Honestly, I would love to smell this on a lady, but as I said, performance is not the best. So give this one a try if you want something different. Now, if you want something even more different that showcases the highest quality vetiver in existence, then you just have to try out Bortnikoff's Vetiver Nocturne Absolu. There it is, guys. Check out this wonderful color. Now, this is the color given by a very high quality vetiver called Rucos, which is the name that the northern part of India gives to the vetiver oil. Now, typically Rucos oil is so dense, it's so dark that you can barely make drops out of it. It is just very viscous. And when you mix it with ethanol and other notes, this is the end result. Now, as with most perfumes from the house of Bortnikoff, this will showcase a lot of tropical flowers, which is the final touch that Dmitry Bortnikoff loves to use in his perfumes. And it also has a very high quality oud. So this is the ultimate experience in vetiver, but only something that a trained nose will actually be able to appreciate. So the way I would go, if you're not really very knowledgeable in vetiver, would be to start off with gray vetiver, which is the easiest one to wear. Then you go for Guerlain's Vetiver, and then you work your way up and go for Terre d'Hermes. Then, of course, Encre Noire, which is something that not everybody will love because it is very dark and mysterious. And then Incident Diplomatique. And last but not least, of course, Vetiver Nocturne. Lovely, lovely stuff. Now, there's a few more that I want to talk about. They're both from the house of Frederic Malle, which is a great perfume brand, but unfortunately, one of them, actually both of them, have been reformulated and do not last as long as they used to. Not even close. The first one is Vetiver Extraordinaire. You will not even see what's written. This is a beautiful blend, guys. Something that I wished it lasted longer. Very smooth, very elegant. It probably has different types of vetiver in it. So if you don't mind over applying a perfume, then go and give this one a try. But the one I actually prefer the most from the house of Frederic Malle is French Lover. This is a very unique scent, guys, one that I am planning to buy, even though the older formulation was amazing. This one is great, but not as amazing. It is not as floral as the other one was. There was a very prominent iris note in the old formulation, and it was just overall, it lasted longer. Nevertheless, this one mixes a beautiful Angelica with a wonderful vetiver note. This is the epitome of a man. This is strictly for a man, guys, even though I would not mind to smell this on a woman to make a difference from the typical ambers and vanillas. But this is one of a kind. One of the most unique vetiver-based fragrances. I suggest you give it a try if you are into Angelica, which is a very particular anisic ingredient, and vetiver. Fantastic combo. Great stuff. And I could be talking about more, but honestly, these are the ones that I enjoy the most. And obviously, do not go and blind buy any of these perfumes. Just try to sample them. That's the thing that I will never cease to tell you. Sample before buying. That is the most important thing. And what I love is not what you might actually love. You might actually hate all of these. But yeah, so this is what I had for today concerning the vetiver, which is an amazing scent, guys. Do not shrug your shoulders whenever you see a vetiver-based perfume. It is actually a lot more complex than you might think. It's not just a root. It's not just a plant. It is an incredible ingredient, guys. Now, just to finish off, I want to let you know that Indians, just to tell you how great this ingredient is, who have been harvesting vetiver for thousands of years, they actually use this particular material not only for perfumes, but also in drinks. They use it in some of their dishes. They use it in soaps, in creams. It is so instilled in their cultures. Now, a fun fact is that, for example, a few years ago, when there was no air conditioners and most families in India could not afford ventilators and air conditioners, they would actually use vetiver roots as window shutters in order to keep the house fresh, because you must know that vetiver has a very refreshing aspect to it. It's a beautiful, it emanates a beautiful aroma, especially when sprinkled with water. Whenever you sprinkle the vetiver roots with water, you will just get a fresh, beautiful, earthy aroma all over the house, and that would keep the heat from entering the houses. So this is just a fun fact, a wonderful fact to know. And whenever you talk about vetiver to any Indian, everybody in India will know what it's all about, because it is something that they just love so much. And I really respect that fact because it is an incredible ingredient. So guys, I'll see you next time. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll talk to you soon as usual. Ciao, take it easy.